because I feel that this work is really freaking life-changing. It's changing my life. It's changing me on so many different levels. I'm experiencing parts of myself that I don't think I've ever experienced before, and it's amazing, it's beautiful. The journey towards it is definitely not always easy. In this episode, I'm going to talk about how you can prepare yourself for the 5th dimension. How can you prepare yourself for the new earth frequency? How can we allow ourselves to shift into that new version of ourselves that has been there waiting for you? How can we get into the timeline where all beautiful manifestations are lined up for you? In this episode, I'm going to explain exactly how you can do that. So if that's something that you're interested in, then stay around. How does it feel to be alive, to be free? Are we truly in the here and now, or are we living a dream that we created? Close your eyes to see clearly. This is life on purpose. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of On Purpose by Lynn. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Lynn and I share with you everything you need to know about personal development and spirituality so that you can create your best life and so that you can rise to your fullest potential. If that's something that you're interested in, then make sure to subscribe. So shifting into the new earth frequency is something that I've been so passionate about, and I actually haven't been speaking about this that much, and I don't know why exactly that is. It's just because it is that way. Oh, there's a puppy coming, so cute. Hey sweetie. There was a puppy me joining this for this conversation. So when I think about shifting into the new earth frequency, like what do we even mean with that? What do we mean with shifting into higher dimensions, shifting into frequencies? And I know that I've been speaking about this, I've been speaking about dimensions. And one thing that I've been realizing in these couple of weeks is like, how can we make all of this tangible? Like, how can we make this tangible in a way that we can really manifest this into our human experience? Because all this spiritual stuff, it's amazing and it fascinates me like infinitely. But there is a thing with spirituality. It's what I feel sometimes is like people are staying so much up there in the clouds somewhere, and there is a need to make it practical. And this is something that I have really been working through in the process with my coach, in the process of doing a lot of inner child healing, a lot of integration work, integrating my ego, integrating all parts of myself that were deeply stored within the subconscious. And through doing this work, I've been having a lot of awakenings, a lot of epiphanies, a lot of realizations, basically, in how we can manifest, how we can shift into the new earth frequency. So what do we mean with new earth frequency? What we mean with new earth frequency is actually raising our vibration higher, not just through shifting our emotions, but our base foundational frequency that we're being throughout the days from second to second. It's raising our vibration, and through raising our vibration, some people say is that we move into higher dimensions, because dimensions, how I see it, is a vibrational bandwidth of frequencies of vibrations that we can experience. The higher dimensions, the higher bandwidths, so the higher frequencies that we shift into, the more that we're going to experience deeper levels of love, light, positivity, of consciousness. And this is what we mean with shifting into higher frequencies, with shifting into the new earth frequency. So that is what that is. And so how can we get there? Because I believe there is a quick fix. There is a quick fix in changing our vibrational frequency, which is, like meditation, getting into more in better feeling emotions. This is something that we can do consciously. Now, I think this is great. I think these are all great tools, how we can shift our vibration, how we can shift our emotions. But the problem with this is that it's all happening consciously, meaning that this is only 5% of your time. Because 95% of the time, you are manifesting or operating on autopilot, which is your subconscious, basically. So if we cannot shift our subconscious programming, we cannot shift into higher frequencies. So I believe that the work truly is shifting our subconscious mind. And I've come to realize this with the journey that I've been going through and working with a coach, and she showed me how if we don't change your subconscious mind, and I knew this earlier, and I've done work around this earlier, but I haven't done it in the way that I've been doing it with her, because I believe that if we have someone who can show us the way, if we have someone who guides us through our journey, through our awakening journey, if we have someone who knows the tools, who's already there, who has walked the path, we can more easily and effectively and quicker shift into that frequency, because our guides can show us with tangible tools what it is that we can change from within, what it is that we can heal and purge from our subconscious mind. And the thing that I've realized is that through doing the inner child work, I've tried a lot of different things in the past. I've done so many things, journaling, shadow work, moving through challenges that were presented to me just through life, repeating patterns. These are all very helpful. But the thing with this is that we have to wait for things to show up in our lives before we can kind of work it out. I feel like since I've been working with a coach, my journey has accelerated so quickly because she knows and she knew how to pave the way for me. She knew exactly where there was some stuck energy, where there was something stagnant in my life. And often we're not even aware of that because, like I said, it's 95% of the time. So how can we raise our vibration from within? How do we then access our subconscious mind? Well, I've come to realize that inner child healing has been the most effective work, most profound work that I've ever done so far in my healing journey. And the reason for me is it's because our inner child holds the keys. Our inner child has all the answers that we don't consciously have about our lives, about our previous years of our lives. Our inner child knows so much, and she or he can tell you what's been going on with you, why you struggle with certain things in life, why you feel emotionally reactive in life. And how do we do that? Well, first of all, we can ask our inner child questions. First, we can ask who they are, who she is, who he is, and you'll see that you have many versions of yourself. Not always the same part of yourself will show up. And then we communicate and we listen. we truly listen. And through listening, we allow the stubborn, I'm saying stubborn, but it's like stagnant energy within ourselves to come up, to be listened to be heard, to be felt, to be acknowledged. And through acknowledging these parts of ourselves, healing can occur. Because they finally get the support that they needed at that age. They finally get to be and to be heard, which means that these parts no longer have to be triggered all the time. And these parts will exist, and I'm moving through this and I'm still learning about this. So, but what I truly believe is something that I asked my coach the other day was, what's the difference between our inner child, our ego, and the shadow? And what she said is basically there are all these different people who have come up with these names for this phenomena. Someone came up with the ego. I don't quite remember who it was, maybe Carl Jung, or the shadow. Someone came up with the shadow, someone came up with the inner child. So it's different bodies of work, all trying to explain the same thing. And what I've come to realize is through calling, through seeing the ego through the eyes of my inner child, this naming, even the way that you approach it, it's so much more compassionate and loving. Because for some reason, and I've spoken about this in a different podcast episode, is the ego is so demonized. And this is mainly what we do, when we shift into the 5D frequency, however you want to call it, higher frequencies, higher dimensions, the new earth frequency. What we do is we shift out of survival mode. We shift out of the ego who has the forefront of your appearance, of how you show up in life. We soften the ego and we allow our true self to come true. And that's what happens when we're going through this shift. And so the ego often has been demonized. The ego often in my perception, it has been demonized, and it's been described as something bad, or it's not okay to have an ego, or that's your ego speaking. And what I notice is that with changing the approach to this part of myself, or these different parts who are actually protecting me from getting hurt again, because that's how the ego came about, or how these parts of ourselves have been creating the habits, the reactions, the how they run the show, basically. That's how they came about. And so immediately to approach it from the perspective of it's a child, it's previous parts of ourselves who were hurt, who were traumatized, who didn't know how to deal with certain things, and that's why they created these mechanisms that protected you from so much hurt, so much more hurt. And maybe that's not serving you anymore, but at a particular point in time, these habits, these patterns, these mechanisms were necessary for you to survive, to feel safe. And so when we start to have compassion for these parts, because we understand the pain and the hurt and we really hear them out, there's a new way of being, a new way of getting to know love, a new way of becoming one with love. And isn't that shifting into higher frequencies? So it is through doing the integration work, through doing the healing, that we get to shift into higher vibrational frequencies, into the new, so-called new earth that we're moving into. This puppy is now playing with this bottle. It's very cute. I'm gonna show you. That was very cute and it completely threw me off. As you can see, I have this weird dark dots on my forehead. Don't know what it is. Maybe I forgot to put sunscreen on there, or those are the only parts. I don't know what happened. Anyway, funny interruption, but this is how I believe that we shift into the new earth frequency. I'm going to continue to talk about the inner child. I'm going to continue to share things about the journey that I'm in right now, because I feel that this work is really freaking life-changing. It's changing my life. It's changing me on so many different levels. I'm experiencing parts of myself that I don't think I've ever experienced before, and it's amazing, it's beautiful. The journey towards it is definitely not always easy, but yeah, I'm going to share more about that. So if you want to continue to listen to content like this, to go even deeper into how we can create this tangible change in our lives, how we can allow ourselves to tangibly, practically shift into higher dimensions, and then stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, like this episode if you liked it. If you subscribe, you just get notified with every new episode that I upload. I upload episodes 3 times a week, Mondays, Fridays, and Wednesdays. That wasn't in the right order, doesn't matter. So like this video, click the like button if you've liked it, share it with anyone who you think could benefit from this message right now. Don't forget to check out my brand new podcast, which is called Returning Home with Lin Lee. You can find it in a link in the description below, or you can search directly on Apple Podcast or Spotify if you like to. And don't forget to check out my Lightworker merchandise if you want to spread a message of love, light, positivity, and awakening with the world. And if you want to further support me on creating content for free 3 times a week, I really appreciate you for checking it out and purchasing some if you want to. And of course, if you're new here and haven't already subscribed to the channel, remember to do so, as you will be the first to watch all of my videos every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so that you can create your best life. Remember, we have such an exciting future to look forward to, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye for now.